So you got some music theory that you don't understand. Maybe you're in a choir or you're in a band. This is called Alberti bass, but let's go slow, it's not a race. I got one more thing to show you. There's nothing that you can't do. No, you can do anything I can. Alright, this is called the Neapolitan. It's a major chord built on the flat too, and as you can tell, it's really nice. Yeah. Let's get into it, everybody. Hey everybody, got a good music theory question for today. By the way, if you want to ask your music theory question, click that link right in the description and ask away. But today, James asks, how do harmonies work and how can you incorporate them into songs? Whew, it's a broad question. Let's just take a simple song that everybody knows. Let's do Amazing Grace. So that, what I just played, is the melody, of course. That's not a harmony. Or we have the bass line here. And that's not a harmony either. So what is a harmony? It's everything else, okay? Another way to say it is it's the notes inside of a chord, okay? So we have the bass line and we have the melody. So what's left? It's these ones. It's the notes that are outlining the chord that is being played. So if we're just saying this, what are the harmonies? Well, here's one. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. So that would sound, amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Okay, so why does that sound nice? It's not the melody, it's not the bass line. Why does it sound nice? Because they are chord tones. How do we know which harmonies we can use? Well, on my side of the road, on the music theory side of the road, we analyze it. Okay, and so a good way to do that is to look at the bass line. Now this is a very simple chord progression that I'm playing so far, and so the bass line is actually the root of the chord. So F, F, B flat, F. Well, the chords are F major, B flat major, F major. Okay, well that's pretty simple, isn't it? How do we make it more interesting if all we can do is use these notes? So that's where the question is like, well, how do we add harmonies to something? What we're doing is outlining a different chord. We're not outlining an F major chord anymore. We might be outlining an F major 7 or a F9. So what we're doing is reharmonizing the song. And that is to say we take the melody, we don't change the melody very much, if at all, but we change the chords underneath. There's no right or wrong answer for these reharmonizations. You could do whatever you want, but it's based on your own understanding of harmony and complexity and what you like. There's stuff that's like more complex than I like and isn't sounding good to my ears, and there's stuff that's a little bit too basic for my ears.
You're basic.
So this is what I like. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. So that's an option, and there's a whole bunch of decisions that I made. There's some that I liked, some that I didn't. From my side of the road, which is a classical music theory nerd, I do that by analyzing the function of most of these chords. So there was one I did. Each of those, it has a function, and I know where the tension and release is for all of these chords. Okay, that's one way to do it. But a lot of people also just hear the harmonies they want to hear. And so they'll go, amazing grace. harmonies, how sweet the sound, right? And that's just a harmony that they are making up as they go. They may not know what chords they're outlining, they just know it sounds good. And at the end of the day, when we're adding harmonies, that's really what we're trying to do. So, James, I hope this gets you a little bit closer to the answers you're looking for. It's such a broad question. How do harmonies work? Tension and release, and all of these different patterns that sound good to our ears. One thing, if you're really, really into it, that you might want to try is something called species counterpoint. And it's the very basics of Western harmony. So you can check out, there's specific rules of what to do and what not to do with inner voices, and it gets you pretty far in understanding those harmonies and how they work. So thanks for the question, James. Again, anybody else, if you have a music theory homework question or just a music theory question, click that link right down below and ask it, and maybe I'll get to it. Patreon donors, you get first dibs. So if you want to have a better shot of your question being answered, you can join us over on Patreon, patreon.com/classicaltrombone.